Developing tonight, the man accused of killing a Seattle bus driver now faces a charge of first-degree murder. Today, prosecutors said that Richard Sitzlack instigated an argument with bus driver Shawn Yim, then attacked and later killed him. KOMO's Jeremy Harris live tonight in Seattle, looking at the charges Sitzlack now faces and what's next for his case. Jeremy?
Yeah, as Shawn Yim's family, friends, and coworkers at King County Metro mourn his death today, we learn new disturbing details about the attack that claimed his life as prosecutors seek to hold the suspect accountable in court.
This is where the bus stopped as driver Shawn Yim told passenger Richard Sitzlack to get off. Charging documents say there was a dispute over an open window. Sitzlack wanted it closed because he was cold, and Yim, the driver, said it needed to stay open to prevent the bus from fogging up. Things escalated, and prosecutors then say Sitzlack pepper sprayed Yim and kicked him in the groin before stabbing him to death in an alley.
The first is murder in the first degree for the stabbing death. The second is assault in the second degree for the pepper spray before the stabbing, and also assault in the third degree for the kick.
Prosecutors laid out their case in charging documents, saying Sitzlack has an extremely violent nature, adding that Yim is the second person Sitzlack has killed, including his roommate, who he stabbed to death last year. Sitzlack said it was self-defense, and police and prosecutors couldn't find evidence to prove it wasn't.
Ultimately, there wasn't the evidence to disprove his claim of self-defense. If prosecutors under the law had the ability to file those charges, we would have.
But now Sitzlack is looking at more than 30 years in prison if convicted of first-degree murder.
Come over here with your hands up. You're not free to go.
He was arrested over the weekend after a two-day manhunt. He was spotted on a Metro bus by driver Timothy Nelson.
And I recognized him immediately. Like, I had the police bulletin in my pocket for 2 days, doing my best just to remember what he looked like.
Nelson was a friend of Shawn Yim.
He just was always really nice, always good with a joke or a quip or something like that, and just really caring.
Prosecutors say Yim's death was completely unnecessary and that Sitzlack was the one who escalated it. Prosecutors said Sitzlack has no permanent address, no permanent job, and no family in the Seattle area. They requested a bail of $5 million.
Anytime you have allegations like this, I think we can make a pretty solid argument to the court of why there's a danger to the public.
A judge granted that request for the $5 million bail. The next step in this case is going to be an arraignment hearing on January 6th. That's where he'll likely enter a guilty or not guilty plea, and then ultimately he could be facing up to 32 years in prison if he's convicted. Reporting live in Seattle, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.
All right.